Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Nazhira Saharani and today I want to retell a novel. The title is Hummingbird by Lovers Nancy. So the story began in 1879 in the small Colorado railroad town of Stark Junction. One morning, the town's train came inland and showed up. There's been a scuffle on board. Two of the strangers are carried off. One calls himself the hero, and the other is called the train robber. The hero is a David Melcher, a mild-mannered Philadelphia shoe salesman who took a bullet in the foot, losing a toe, trying to stop what he thought was a holdup. The other man is unconscious, shot badly near the groin, and nobody knows his name. The town doctor needs someone to nurse both men, and no one will volunteer, except Miss Abigail Mackenzie, a prim, proper 30 years old spinster who spent her youth caring for her invalid father and was jailed by her fiance, Richard, years ago. She takes both men into her home for pay. Dave is a polite, grateful, and clearly falling for Abigail. He even starts courting her with sonnets and gentle attention. The other man is a mess, fevered, nameless, and once he wakes up, full-mouthed, arrogant, and constantly fighting with Abigail. She misunderstands his first word as Mike Cameron, so she called him Mr. Cameron, his real first name. It turned out it's Jess. He and Abigail clash constantly. He teased her, she threw things at him, they tried insult, but underneath it, Daryl hit. One day, Jess, still recovering, catch Abigail in his arms just as David walked in, and it looked damned. David, humiliated and jealous, left town abruptly, feeling repulsed. Left alone with Jess, Abigail kept nursing him through fight. Pranks, always shotgun, raw pig bladder for dinner, oatmeal shampoos, and unexpected tenderness. Slowly, gradually, they become close. Jess learned about Richard and how Abigail sacrificed her youth for her father. Abigail learned Jess actually has a loving family in New Orleans and claims to be a railroad photographer, which she doesn't believe for a second, since he was supposedly caught red-handed, holding a gun on the train. Then Jack's business partner, Jim Hudson, arrived, and everything flips. Jess is not a robber at all. He just do friend, a wealthy co-owner of the ferry railroad. He was accused of robbing. He pays Abigail a huge sum for her care, and reveals David is coming back to town for a legal settlement meeting about the shoot. The night before David returns, Jess, knowing but not telling her David is coming back, finally gives in to Abigail's pleading, and they sleep together. In her first time, the next morning, David shows up and catches them practically in the act again, and leave in inferred. At the settlement meeting, Jess revealed to be a rich railroad owner arrange a huge payout to David, on the condition David invests most of it in a business idea in Stuart Junction. Jess does this partly out of guilt, hoping to set Abigail up with David for a comfortable, respectable life since he believes he is not good for her. Then just leave thoughts. David, now flush with money, decided to open a shoe store in Stuart Junction, using Jazz money without fully realizing at first that it's Jazz. Abigail threw herself into helping him build the business and repairing her reputation, and slowly the town comes to accept them as a couple. David proposes and she accepts, telling herself she could build a decent, secure life with a good gentleman, even though she can't stop comparing his timid kiss to Jaz's patience. The wedding is set just before the wedding. Jazz comes back to town. Having read about the engagement in the paper, he called Abigail in the snow, obsessively when wanting to know if she is pregnant. She isn't. They argue, but he kept coming back, including sneaking into her house late at night. And for the first time, they actually talk honestly instead of fighting about why he never told her David was returning, about his guilt, about the money. On the day before the wedding, Abigail goes to have her bridal portrait taken, only to find Jess has brought the actual photographer and taken over the sitting himself. He seduced her into it, quite deliberately, posing her in a rocking chair, causing her guard down until they end up making love again. And Daphne walks in and overhears, witness it all. Furious and devastated, David calls off the wedding on the spot. In the aftermath, Jess simply asks Abigail to marry him instead. After a passionate argument turned love scene, she finally admits she loves him and always has. That David never made her feel what Jess does. Before leaving town for good, she insists on returning to the store to personally apologize to David and return his wedding gift, a pair of shoes, refusing to just abandon him without a word. Jace waits for her outside, then whisks her onto his private railroad car, which he had arranged in advance as honeymoon suite. And as the trip pulls away, he even shot down the David and Abigail measure, saying hanging outside the shoe store for good measure. The book ends with the two of them together happy, headed off toward light that will clearly be full of fighting, teasing, and passion, exactly the way they like it. And that's how the novel is ended. Thank you for hearing me from first until the last. And sorry if there are any mistake. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.